This is Kusi Achampong, your cheerleader to achieving all your dreams in life. Today I have a special guest with us, a former student of the University of Cape Coast, and I would just want to interview him to get his perspective about life in general and about his life on campus. I'll ask him to give a little introduction of himself.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kusi. I'm Obriabua Prince, as he has already introduced me. I just graduated from the University of Cape Coast. I read Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management, and I must say that I'm really honored to be here today. I'm really happy.
So, Mr. Obriabua, to start, how can you talk to us about your academic life? Your 4 years there on campus, academically. How would you put it?
I would say it was an experience. Yeah. Before I came to the university, I had been in the secondary school like everybody, right from SHS to school, and I've had a lot of experience and many other things that have impacted my academics in the past. I do not want to say I'm a naturally brilliant student because I've had my own shortcomings or weaknesses in academics in the past. But I would say that from my upper primary coming down to JHS, I was a good student. What my reports will always say that I was a good student. But in secondary school, somewhere, though I was still academically good, after completion, I realized that I could have done better than I did over there. After I had done some personal assessments, how I had taken on many different positions and the rest. So I actually decided that this time I was going to be more focused and come out better than I did in SHS. And I would say that academics has been an experience in the university. One, I would say that it has been tough, but it has made me better. Let me put it that way. When I was coming to the university, I personally chose only the University of Cape Coast for personal reasons. I like challenges. I want you to tell me that I cannot do this. This place is tough. This. I want to be in that position because I believe that even if I'm not able to conquer it well, it will stretch me to become better. So I personally chose here. And when I came to, I realized that the system was such that when I came to the University of Cape Coast, I realized that the system was such that it really stretches you to always come out with your best. So I would say that my academic experience, my academic side of my life have been an experience, especially in the university. I've come to know a lot, though stressful, it has given me the opportunity to become better in my whole area.
Okay, so what I've picked from his experience on campus as a student is focus, and then meeting challenges. You love challenges because challenges make us better, but sometimes we want to run away from challenges. And so from Mr. Briabo's experiences from primary school, upper primary to junior high to senior high school and to the university, you can see that the university has toughened him, made him better, and he is a better person now. As you move along, you understand why I'm saying all these things. So let's move on to your social life. Life must be complete. It should be social, academic, spiritual, relationships, and all that. Your social life, how, especially in the university, I know you've heard a lot about university life, relationships, church. Some people come very good academically, they come and overload themselves with a lot of activities, and then they fall short of the academic. Like, how did you manage your social life vis-a-vis academic and spiritual?
Okay, that putting these three things together, coming over here, I knew if I'm to speak from the spiritual side, I prioritize my spiritual, what people call spiritual. I do personally, I do not categorize them that way. But my spiritual side of life, I would say I prioritize it over the other two areas. So I had to, the only problem that I had in secondary school was with priority. Though I was excelling in the spiritual side and academics too, but I do not measure myself with other people. I do not compare. The Bible says, comparing yourself with one another, you are not wise. So I do not say in the class I came out better than these people. So because of that, I'm better. I weighed it. If I was to do that, I would say that I was good. But I weighed it against my strength, and I realized that I could have done better. So when I was coming here, the only thing I picked was to make sure I position myself in a way that is not going to affect any of these areas. I'm not talking about balance as in 20% here, maybe 80% here, to make sure that in every area, he who measures, if my academic life is measured, and I knew that in the university, your academic life will be measured by your grades, change everything, that's how they will measure it. I knew that they will measure, my spiritual life will be measured by the standard of the Bible. So I wanted to make sure if I'm being measured by that standard, everything will be in place. So I set standards. For example, I knew that there were many opportunities for you to serve the Lord on campus. There are different denominations. But I intentionally focused that I was going to maintain one particular denomination, stay there, and serve with all my heart. Though I had other denominations that I joined, I refused portfolios there, specific portfolios there. So there will be some of them, Hall, fellowships and the rest, they will bring me the opportunity to come and serve there. I'll tell them I'm also serving in an equal capacity somewhere where I think that the other people in the union, they knew what I could do. But I personally believe that there were other people there who only do so because I was in other areas. So it helped me stay focused, like I initially said. And I did not pick up so many portfolios. But the lecture that I had, I made sure I gave it my all. So if people knew me to be in this particular church, they knew that I was doing very well in that area. And talking to relationships, I know the fundamental role of relationships.
We'll get there. But I'm happy with what you've said. That it's not just the percentages assigned to these various aspects of your life, but making sure that each aspect of these areas you have 100%. So if you are measuring you academically, you have 100% there. If you are going spiritual, you have 100%. You are going social, 100%. And he did not overload himself. That is very important. I am happy I'm getting this, because sometimes when you are committed to certain things, you are overloaded. So this fellowship will give you position. Another fellowship think that you can do them with the give, and then you add all these ones and begin to affect other aspects of your life. And God says a false balance is an abomination. And so if you are watching, I hope that you are picking some of these things very well. And if you are not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to always receive notifications whenever we upload a new video. So let's move on to the relationship aspect. Campus is a whole city on its own, and several things, so many things happen on campus. I'm sure you heard about relationships. Of course, man-woman relationship. You have man-man and other, but our focus is on man-woman. How did you manage all these things? I'm sure there were pressures from left, center, every corner, but as I'm aware, you're able to manage. How did you manage all these things?
To talk, I want to begin from the relationship from a normal friendship level, and then I narrow down to the intimate level of friendship. I must say that the university environment gives a lot of pressure on this particular area of a person's life. When I was coming to the university, I've already said I prioritize my spiritual life. I do not just enter things anyhow, just because people are at any point in time. I want to make sure, is it in alignment with what God wants to use me to do at this particular point in time. So when I was coming to the university, I looked at my life plan and prayed in accordance with the life plan to know what God's purpose was. And I firmly believe that it was not in God's will for me to enter into intimate relationship at the moment. But I knew the fundamental rule of friendships. But friendship with the right people, he who works with the wise. So at the beginning, I must say people saw me to be anti-so, because I was in a new environment where I did not know anyone, and I had to make sure I moved with the right people, because there were very few people I knew from the house who came here. So I was now coming to form friendships, and I had to be very careful. So at the early beginning part of my stay on campus, people knew me to be anti-so. But I was still observing which people were the right ones for me to actually move along with. And along the way, I found them, and it kept spreading just like that. So I want to say that I paid attention to forming the right associations. The people, I did not rush, because, and sometimes I felt bad myself at the early stages, because I really wanted to have friends. I really wanted to also have the opportunity to go out, like people were all having friends, my roommate, people be coming to visit them. But I also knew if I was not patient, I was going to work with the wrong people, and I was afraid. I didn't want a particular consequence, which wasn't the best for me in terms of friendships. So I waited patiently. So I have very good friends on campus, church, in my class, everywhere. So as time went on, I got the right friends. However, I maintained what I would call general friendship with everyone. So in my class, nobody can come and say, Prince, I have a grudge with him, or in my hostel where I stayed, or church. But not all of them can also say Prince was my friend, because I put friendship at a level. I believe that everybody who is my friend, someone that's giving official license to have influence in my life. So I go out with everybody, speak with everybody, but when it comes to those who exert influence on my life, I was very careful about that. And then, like I've already said, when it comes to the intimate level, there is a lot of pressure. You will have friends who are going out. In fact, along the way, I had mentees who were going out and who will be coming that you should probably cancel them in a particular area. But you yourself, you were not going. I wasn't going out personally. But I must say that I decided that in alignment with God's will for me, in alignment with what God said He wanted to use me for. So I knew that it was not time for me to go out. However, I believe that the friends that I had during this time, later on in my life, if I want to go into any intimate friendship, I have built a foundation that will make that easier for me. So I didn't go out like that, and it helped me focus.
Very, very, very interesting. I'm enjoying this interview. So what he said was that he had a life plan. Do you have a life plan? If you are watching, do you have a life plan? When you have planned your life, people cannot pressure you to take decisions that you have not planned for, to do things that are not part of your plan. And that's what I'm picking from this interview. So, and the next thing I have picked, that he formed friendships. Very important. Show me your friend, and I will show you your character. So he formed very good friends. He didn't rush in forming friends. He was selective. He decided that you will be my friend, and you become. You can't just force yourself on him as a friend. And that is something that we must learn out of that. Friendship must be chosen. They must not be forced on you. And you have to decide what you want to do with your life. Nobody can force you into anything unless you allow the person to. And that is very, very important, because friends will have influence, whether you like it or not. So if you permit every Tom, Dick and Harry to become your friend, it means that they can also affect your life, whether you like it or not. Sometimes you can say that I cannot change, but depending on your friends, you will. And so these are life lessons we are learning from this interview. And I hope that if you are watching, you'll pick some things from it and begin to, if you don't have a life plan, if anything, if you don't have a life plan, get yourself a life plan.